I think we've got it all fixed. All right, so so this is the start of Isle of Dread. And in many ways, this is going to be a continuation of the first season of our community campaign where we played Into the Borderlands. At the conclusion of that game, we had a number of heroes that participated in defeating an enemy who was using two very evil artifacts that have ties to the long dead god Vecna. The Book of Vile Darkness and the Hand of Vecna. The party that was a part of the final adventure that defeated our villain, they made a decision that the recovery of these items was not something that should be public knowledge. And hey, thank you for the subscription. And a big woo from Ric Flair. Huzzah! Be sure to join us in Discord. So they made a decision to keep it a secret, but they tried a number of things to try to destroy these two artifacts, and nothing seemed to be working. They made a decision to confide in Father Sineg, who was a priest of Pelor who ran the chapel at the keep. And after several trips to libraries across the realm, consultations with the head clergy of the Church of Pelor, a potential answer has been found as to how these two items might get destroyed. Scholars and researchers have long speculated or theorized that an island, very remote, mostly uncharted island far to the south in the South Sea, may hold a portal to the elemental plane of fire. This is a theory that several scholars and wizards have been trying to prove. There is nothing concrete that suggests that it is true, nor is there any kind of understanding of exactly where on this island this portal may be. But the theory is backed up by studies of ley lines and other research that these wizards, even Zelagar himself, his name was found on a lot of the tomes looking into this research. So it is sort of a desperate bid, one that there is no certainty that this expedition that the church is funding is going to bear any fruit. But that is the true purpose of the voyage that you all are going on. However, your characters may not know this. Some of you have found yourselves in the employ of the Church of Pelor and have been entrusted with this knowledge. Others of you are maybe jumping on this ship for its more public purpose, which is as kind of a routine voyage deep in the sea to deposit prisoners in kind of a barbaric form of justice to exile prisoners. And so no, this isn't going to raise any alarms that this voyage is heading out so far from the capital city of Sepularum. And the entire thing is being financed and paid for by the church. The ship that you are all about to set foot on is called the Raging Bull. It is captained and owned by a minotaur of all creatures, Captain Falthren. A minotaur, and in talking with him, you may realize that he actually knew somebody that entered the Borderlands. There was another Minotaur that was a part of Season 1, Thunderhoof, and he also had a pirate background. And so he originally was a member of this crew of this ship, this galleon. So you are all headed to the Isle of Dread. As you board the ship, depending on what it is you're here to do, most of you, I think at least William, Sliver, and did I have another character that was a convict?
I'm a guard.
Okay.
I'm escorting William to the Isle.
So it might just be William and Sliver, and then Sister as William's escort. You would be immediately taken down into the lowest hold, and this is all done by Captain Falthran, who's the accommodations aren't great. Basically, there are some little nooks there. You might be able to strap some rope together and make a makeshift hammock, or scavenge up some things to make some bedding for yourself. But there's nothing here that's set up for you. Falthran will see you, Sister, handcuffed to William, and make comment that that he's not going anywhere, and that he can certainly secure you more comfortable accommodations on the vessel, should you choose.
I have to see him all the way onto the land.
And Captain Falthran will understand that, and tell you that he respects that, and if there's anything that he can do to make your voyage more comfortable, just say the word.
Well, thank you.
Sister likes my company.
Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing any names wrong here, but Terajik?
Yes.
For what purpose have you found your way onto this vessel?
So Taragic is a criminal.
Okay, so you would actually be down here in this hold then as well.
Yeah.
You would have been escorted down with the rest. Selvin and Magnus, after all of that is taken care of, after all the prisoners are loaded onto the ship, and there's maybe about a dozen or so other prisoners that are loaded up down here. But Selvin and Magnus, you are emissaries of the Church of Pelor, or at least you are here to conduct their mission or their business. And so Captain Falthran takes you to the second, just under the deck, the main deck, where there are actual hammocks and things like that set up. It's not, like you have your own private room. It's not the captain's quarters or anything like that, but reasonable accommodations on the ship have been made for you. And Captain Falthran, when there's less of the crew around, people are loading up your things onto the ship, he kind of takes the two of you aside and says, well, look, I am the only one. The church has taken great pains to ensure that the true cargo of the ship is hidden in secret. I am the only one that knows of it. We must take care with this knowledge that we have, and not speak of it to anyone. lest there be trouble.
You have my word.
In the coming days, we will have time to talk and make preparations for what you will do once we get to the Isle. It is about a week's travel. So, please make yourselves comfortable. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
Thank you for your passage and hospitality.
There is a piece of business, I guess, I shared on the Discord, but maybe it bears repeating, is that Father Sineg and the church did find some information about the Isle for you, in the form of a partially drafted map and a piece of a captain's log. And that log was from a captain that went by the name of Rory Barbarossa. And the log states, when the gale finally ended, we found ourselves approximately 7 days normal sailing distance south of Specularum in the Thanagioth archipelago. We replenished our supplies, patched up the ship, and traded our remaining goods to native villages along the shores of several islands. We were well received by the natives who lived on the southeastern peninsula. The villages were cut off from the isle by a massive stone wall the natives contend was built by the gods to offer the protection from the large island that they refer to as the Isle of Dread. Their own peninsula they called Tanaroa, a word which translates to home. The villagers were quite diverse. They included turtles, tabaxi, grung, tritons, and even humans. While in their company, the villagers told us a tale of an ancient city in the central highland of the isle that was built by the same entities as their wall. The inland city is rumored to be filled with treasure beyond imagining. In particular, I heard persistent tales concerning a great black pearl of the gods that still remains in the inland city. The island waters abound with excellent pearl beds, so the rumors of a black pearl may well be true. I would have liked to explore inland to verify the rumors, but too many of the crew died in the storm. Only 5 of us are left. I am the only professional adventurer amongst us, while the others are sailors. We can set sail the small ship well enough, but on land in hostile territory, we would be helpless. Once back in Specularum, I should be able to recruit a professional team to return to claim the Black Pearl and whatever other fabulous treasures await. One thing I managed to do before leaving. We sailed around the island and made the best map we could. We were afraid to land, since the villagers had warned us of large beasts and dragons that inhabit the mainland. Furthermore, the coasts were rocky, and beaches were hard to find. As a result, the map only shows the coastal areas we could chart from the ship. And the message is signed by Rory Barbarossa. Certainly this will be information that will be shared with everyone at some point, but for now this would only be information that Magnus and Selvin would be aware of. The rest of you are under the impression you're either going to be deposited on this island that you've heard really nothing about, or that, in the case of Sister, that you'll be making a return trip, presumably when the task is done. So,
Alex, did we hear correctly that you said dragons?
yes.
Just making sure.
You heard correctly. So, the ship sets sail. It is it's actually winter time in the lands that are claimed by the Grand Duchy of Karameikos, where presumably many of you are from. And so it is the 5th of Vadermont, which is a month that roughly mirrors February. And being from a temperate climate, it is there's snow on the ground where you are. Several months have passed since the Borderlands campaign. But the first day of travel, clear skies, it is calm, and you are setting sail past a number of islands. There are a number of isles that are just south of the mainland, and the first day of your journey is going relatively smoothly. Captain Falthran at some point is going to give Selvin and Magnus, and we'll offer Sister as well, a tour of the ship. Just as a kind of a routine kind of thing. Shows you where the hold is, shows you where the kitchen is, where the privy is, kind of the essential things. At some point, he makes a stop in the hold where William... I'm going to have a tough time with Terajik.
Just say tragic. That's what I'm trying to say. It's tragic.
Oh, okay, got it. That helps.
Just
okay,
tragic.
Terragic.
It's tragic.
Terragic. Do I have to do
That's
like a
great.
hand thing while I do it?
You know what? Just call me Terry for the rest of the night.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
And Sliver. At some point, the captain stops in at the hold and starts to undo your bindings, and he says, "If you're going to be on my ship, you're going to do work. You're going to earn your time." And he hands William. He hands you a mop. Sliver. He stops and gazes at you, and he says, "What are your talents? What are you good at?"
I am very fast.
Okay. We'll keep you topside. You go with him, and he points to William. And you, son. And he points at Taragic. What are your talents?
Well, I am good with the blade. I'm here because I'm good with the blade. Points at chains.
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man!
Whoa. We just got some kind of an epic cheer from Pay the Toll, who has caused all this music and drumming to occur in my ears. Thank you. Ron, we appreciate that. Thanks for feeding the door. So he says, okay, good with a blade. Well, I'll take that to mean that maybe we could use you topside as well. We're gonna have rough winds in the days to come. I need a few hands to handle the masts. Can you do that?
I can do that. I'm gonna have to. Do I have chains on at this point? I'm being freed right now, right?
Yeah, he's like undoing your bindings, and just kind of gauging, the prisoners to see, what their comfort level is and what you might be able to do.
Okay. Well, I don't want to die any more than you do, so you can trust me.
That's good. And then he turns to you, sister, and he says, You are here in an official capacity. I don't expect you to do any work, but what say you? What could you contribute to the crew?
I'm an investigator by training. I'm a cop. I don't know what I could help with. I've never been on a boat before.
Well,
Pulls out a pipe with the sailor's cap.
He says, well, perhaps you could help me with managing this lot. I'm sure some of them, maybe it's not their first time out at sea, but I have a feeling a few of them are a little rough around the edges. Perhaps you could help maintain a sense of discipline up there.
I can do that.
And so he goes about his business, and you all take to your jobs. At night, he calls Selvin and Magnus into the captain's quarters. And this is where that map that got dug up by Father Sineg of the Isle of Dread is going to be pulled out. And he lays it out on a small circular table that adorns his room. His chambers are fairly modest. He's got a bed and a big trunk at the end of his bed where he keeps his personal effects, but it's pretty modest in terms of decor and things like that. But there is this table and a couple of chairs, and he lights a lantern as you come in, offers you something to drink, and gets to the matter of hand. For the purposes of the fact that this is a community campaign, it is likely that some of the other characters that are in the know are also in the room as this conversation is happening. But he rolls out the map and he says, I've been taking a look at this map, and there aren't a lot of great options for us in terms of landing. We will have to set anchor some distance away from shore and paddle a boat. There is very rocky terrain if this Rory Barbarossa is to be trusted in his cartography, but I am wondering what you think. Where would you like us to take the ship when we make way to the isle?
I'd say probably our best course of action is to be somewhere where we actually can able to see, more inland than we can from the ship. Probably more towards the northern end, so we have some jungle.
Yeah, he kind of agrees with you a little bit that it seems that doesn't seem to be as mountainous on that side, and actually looks maybe sort of swampy, maybe wetlands on that side. He turns to Father Magnus and he says, "What say you?"
Do we know down south if that is a trail that runs?
Presumably it could be some kind of a road or something like that. In the letter from Rory Barbarossa, he made mention of villages on the southeast.
I would lean towards the southeast because village just means we might be able to resupply. North would be good if we want to go in the sky or unnoticed.
Yes, it could be wise to make contact with the natives. You might be able to get some information, learn something about this isle. Well, certainly you don't have to make a decision just now. There's a whole week's journey ahead of us. So he leaves you with this question to ponder over the next few days. Day 2 begins with an overcast day. Actually, the ship actually makes port at a port town on one of the islands just before you get out into the main stretch of sea where there will be no such ports to dock at. And as you are all waking up and setting out to your daily tasks that have been assigned to you at this point by the captain, It's an overcast but windy day. The ship seems to be actually guided a bit by this wind as it starts to pick up speed to the south. The crew is all singing and enjoying the merriment of sea shanty tunes that they are singing. Sing along if you know it. But they are singing, "What do you do with a hungry halfling? What do you do with a hungry halfling? What do you do with a hungry halfling early in the morning?" And they're all enjoying their work. Yeah. If you played any Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I mean, they're all going to
Shave
be...
his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his
Yeah.
belly with a rusty
With the
razor.
rusty razor.
Point of inspiration for Taragic. So, for many of you, maybe this is your first time on a vessel, or does anybody here actually have like the sailor or pirate background? Okay. So for you all, the ship is rocking and swaying, and there is a potential that your character is not accustomed to this.
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man!
Hey, Ron, thank you for the cheer. We appreciate that. I'm sure it was our beautiful singing voices that he's cheering for. All of you will need to give me a Constitution saving throw to see if you are able to hold off the effects of seasickness. This is a DC 8.
Oh boy.
And if you
First
make it,
roll of
you
a
don't
9.
have to roll this check again for the remainder of the voyage.
What's the DC again? I'm sorry.
8.
Oh,
Very low DC.
All right.
I haven't seen anything lower than an 8, so I think
Nope.
everybody get their rolls in.
Hold up. Gotta try it.
All right. Oh.
No.
oh.
So Selvin, there's always one.
I'm not used to that. I'm not used to this.
The Dragonborn. Perhaps. What kind of Dragonborn are you?
Don't want to be.
I'm a white dragonborn.
He throws up.
So, you you grow sick to your stomach, and you're kind of heaving overboard, and the crew is snickering at you as you're very visibly disturbed by the sea travel. There's a dwarf, actually, a female dwarf, that comes over to you, and she has red hair that's pulled back in a ponytail, and she's laughing in your face. You can see her teeth are completely rotted out. She's not helping with the situation that you've got going on, Selvin. She smells of, 2 days after a hangover. She hasn't cleaned herself up in that amount of time, and she's just laughing. She's patting you on the back, and she says, this is your first time out at sea, is it?
Yeah, I guess you could say I don't have my sea legs yet.
No, you don't. You don't worry. You'll get used to it. Landlubbers. And she kind of moseys on and continues her chores up on deck.
Pleasure meeting you.
And William, there is a halfling on the ship who comes up to you and is helping you out. He grabs a mop himself and is swabbing the deck, and he starts idly kind of chit-chatting with you. He says, hey, have you ever heard anything about this place that we're going to?
Oh, what? You mean the Dread Isle?
Yeah, I've heard a number of the crew are referring to it that way, the Dread Isle or Isle of Dread. But I heard it's kind of like like a name that lost its that changed over time. I heard that it's originally called the Isle of Dead.
Well, you hear a lot of things when you gossip, uh, but could be called that. Who told you that?
Well, there was an old salt that I met back at port a couple weeks ago. Well, he says he's seen it and he's been there at the Dead Walk at night.
Were you talking about the undead?
Yes, the natives that live there.
I
Trapped.
think that's unlikely. Surely they wouldn't be exiling us to such a place like that.
Well, I
Right?
wouldn't be so sure. Isn't that the kind of thing that curses are made of?
I mean, it just seems outlandish and, no offense, but a little bit foolish. Surely that's it's a proper prison colony, right, sister?
How should I know? I've never been to one. Getting too old for this shit.
Well, something like that. What did you say your name was?
My name is G. Clutterbuck.
G. Clutterbuck. That sounds like a real name, not made up on the spot. My name is William. Nice to meet you.
Oh, likewise.
And I
We
reach
got
out to shake, and it's like the chain hand, like pulls me back. Left hand.
he shakes her hand and he says, "So what did you do anyway? You don't seem that rough."
The question is not what, it's who. Anyway.
I guess you could say I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, so to speak. Yes, back in the capital, I was a doctor and a spiritual advisor of sorts, and I think I advised a little too thoroughly with the wrong person, and here I am.
G. Clutterbuck fails his insight check, and he's clearly not picking up what you're putting down. And he says, "Okay." Anything the rest of you would like to do on this day? Again, no land can you see on either side of the boat. Just sea for as far as your eyes can see, can stretch out.
Not to be the schmuck with this feat, but I have keen mind, so I'm keeping real track of the direction we're going in, how far we're going, etc.
Okay. Yeah, nothing's going off on your radar at all. But remind me of that on the 7th day.
I'm trying to take good notes
once
too.
Once you get to the island, there might be some things that you'll see.
All right.
I'm going to go hang out with Selvin.
All right. What are the two of you doing, actually? Because the two of you are not really required to work at all. In fact, maybe the two of you are discussing the plan once you get to the island.
Well, I'm not currently drive heaving over the bow of the ship.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
probably
right.
be in my
I'm gonna
room
help him
reading
with
through my
that
books.
when I can.
Sorry,
Yeah, but which one I'm not. Sorry.
What was that, Magnus?
When he has to make another save, please let me know. I'm going to help him with that. I'm going to enhance his con so he gets a better saving throw.
Oh, okay. Well, he won't have to do that. It's a daily thing, so you'll have to get up in the morning, I guess, and help him out with that.
But mostly I'll be going through my religious texts, just looking through what I have to prepare for myself for my future.
I'm working on my swordsmanship.
All right. Very good. There's a number of the members of the crew. The cook drunkenly comes over, very obviously intoxicated. A dwarf who has a heavily stained apron on, butcher's cleaver kind of tucked into the belt of his clothes. He's got this. It would probably be a pristinely white beard if it wasn't for the heavy alcohol stains, like right around, his mouth. Very clearly, he smells of alcohol as he kind of stumbles over. He has observed you, Magnus. Playing with your weapon, and he pulls out his butcher's knife. He's like, "Ah, have at it there!
Excuse me?
Ah, let's spar."
Okay. I don't think you're going to do well with your little weapon. And I hold up my longsword.
So, he kind of is just like standing there, on guard style, with his butcher's blade out, seemingly waiting for you to make the first move.
No, my good man. You should make the first move.
Okay. And he dives forward. Actually, for being drunk, it probably isn't that bad of a swing. He gets a 12. And so you quickly parry it or whatnot. What would you like to do in response?
I'm going to sort of sidestep so he goes past me. And then I'm going to tap him on the rear and kind of kick him away.
Okay,
I
he
don't wanna
clearly
hurt this
like
guy.
falls over himself. He's so drunk, and he kind of in a fit of embarrassment picks himself up, and you can see him kind of. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're not sure if he's blushing or if he's just red in the cheek from the amount of rum he's drank, but he kind of scurries off in the direction where the kitchen is on the. I think it's on the second to last level of the ship.
Come back tomorrow for lesson 2.
And it would seem, does anybody else have anything else they want to do on day 2? Otherwise,
so during this time, I'm basically just following whatever direction I'm given. I basically go from prisoner to like servant, and I'm fine with that at the time. I'm a little put off by the singing, so I'm muttering to myself, "Sing jestful songs about halflings, do ya? Well, I dare you to put me in bed with the captain's daughter." But I'm
Yeah.
Remember, the
generally just,
captain's a minotaur, right?
it's the next verse of the song. That's the joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put him
The-
in bed with the captain's daughter. Come on, guys.
the halfling first mate that was talking to William is comes up to you and says, you should go talk to him. I think he knows something about that."
Pointing to the other halfling.
No, the halfling comes up to you and is pointing to William.
Oh. Well, I don't want to get in trouble. I should keep a low profile. But if you have any problems, you come to me, all right? And if you could get me any kind of knife or dagger, anything, in case I need to cut a rope or anything, stick up for you. But yeah.
He says, "I don't know. Giving a knife to a fugitive. I don't think the captain would like that."
Well,
How about
the other criminals aren't as nice as you might think they are. They're not nice like me, so I might need to defend myself.
you can make a persuasion check.
Oh, Well, didn't do right. There we go. Oh no.
He G just says, well, you know, they say I'm kind of naive, but even I think that that's probably. I don't think the captain would like that very much. How about, you need any rope cut? You just let me know. I can cut it for you.
All right.
I'd be
All
happy
right.
to help.
Stay close. I need you. Stay close.
And the day passes without incident, and you make it to day 3. Selvin, give me your con save.
Oh boy, my favorite.
Oh, let me cast my spell.
Yeah. Hey, we did it.
Oh, never mind then.
All right. So you managed to get control of your seasickness. You've acclimated to the traveling, but
Thanks,
it
Magnus.
is. What's that?
I was just thanking Magnus for the assistance.
Oh, okay. There are dark skies overhead, and the ship is moving into choppy waters. There is kind of a sort of sense of anxiety on the ship, and the crew, nonetheless, is singing to try to deal with it. And actually, it's the dwarf, the female dwarf, Kilvara Dirty Bones, is leading the crew in a chorus, and she sings out, "Whiskey is the life of man, whiskey, Johnny. Oh, whiskey is the life of man, whiskey for my Johnny, oh." And they're singing, and they are passing a jug around, but they are working as they do so, tightening up the sails and reinforcing the rigging all about the ship. You could see Captain Falthran takes to the bridge and is scanning out in the distance. And sister, you see certainly a very heavy, dark storm clouds ahead, lightning striking down. Casting light over the foreboding horizon, and the captain calls. He starts to bark out orders to everyone to take positions. Steady the bow into the waves. And he's ordering, like, William, grab a bucket. We need to keep as much water out of the vessel as possible. He's directing some of the rest of you to take to the front mast, and for others to take down the back mast to ensure that the ship does not dive under the waves. So we'll go one by one, and I'll ask you each what type of task, how are you helping to avert the disaster of the ship as it heads into the storm? William, you kind of got pigeonholed with the mop, but you could do whatever sister would allow you to do, I suppose.
Well, I'll be doing whatever he's doing because we're 5 foot chain to each other, so.
Sister, help me with this bucket. It's harder with one hand. I'm just like feebly splashing like a third of a bucket out.
Jesus, are you good at anything? Just grab
some
bucket.
things.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, so I'm just like taking this bucket and just like trying to like do what he told me to do. I'm not going to cause a ruckus.
All right. What kind of skill check would you like to make for that? I could. There's a couple of options, I think.
Yeah. Are you gonna present them, or you want me to pick one?
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
Ron, thank you for the cheer. You can pitch an idea.
So, I mean, my thoughts are I'm trying to I think this has to be a kind of a sleight of hand thing because I'm getting my hand tugged by the chain and I'm trying to manipulate the bucket. So,
Sure.
I was thinking the same for me as a performance check, though.
Are you helping him with his action, or are you also working with a separate bucket?
I think if I were to try to help him, he'd get disadvantage, which I think might be an interesting way to go. We're chained together, and I'm trying to help him bucket out stuff. But yeah, I mean, maybe an athletics, or maybe I aid him, and we'll see how that goes.
you're giving me an 8. All right, here we go.
I just feel like I would kick the bucket while you were doing it.
8 this time. So you did kick the bucket.
Yeah, Jesus, get out of my way!
Yeah, they didn't go very well. You guys are kind of, I don't know, getting in each other's way, probably getting on each other's nerves a bit. And it's just not going well. There's not a lot of water that's going overboard.
No.
Sullivan, what would you be doing to help avert, play your role in keeping the ship from going under in this storm?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about ships to start. Let's say that. So, whenever someone needs help with assisting a rope, like pulling it taut, making sure it's not, flying off the mast, that's probably where I'd be.
Yeah, there are a number of crew that have run up to the front mast, and I definitely studied all night to learn all these terms, and now I don't remember any of them. But yeah, they're trying to direct the ship into the waves. To keep the boat from capsizing to one side or the other. So you could go up and help in that way. What kind of a skill check would you like to give me for that?
Probably for pulling on some rope, I'd say athletics.
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. 11.
All right, so you go up and you're helping with the crew, and the winds are so powerful that the sails just keep kind of turning, and you actually see part of the mast actually flies up and is kind of just flapping in the wind. It's not really catching anything, and it's causing kind of an imbalance in the ship. But you can feel it kind of rocking towards the port side of the ship, and it's almost like it's at an angle, and you're all having to give some effort to keep balance, to keep on your feet. Sliver, what are you doing to help with the ship?
Sliver's really good at perceiving what's going on, so he's just going to kind of look at where he feels he's kind of needed, and then he's going to jump in and just try to help them out, whether it's with the ropes or with tossing the water over the side or anything along those lines. Okay.
Sure. You can see that there's a number of crew members that are actually trying to take down the mizzen mast. That's what it is, right? The back mast? I don't know. The sails on the back side of the ship. They're trying to take that down to prevent it from taking the ship underwater. So
Sliver will help take them down.
Sure. Okay. What kind of check would you like to give me for that?
Since we're taking it down, it'd probably just be a simple athletics.
Sounds good. There we go. Helping the average out. You help out quite a bit. They were struggling, the crew in the back, but you jump up to their aid and lend a hand and take down the mast. And so, Taragic, it is. What would you be doing?
So I probably don't have enough weight to help with the math. So I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna look for direction. Is anyone I'm kind of just trying to be helpful the entire time, and I don't think I would be on my own. But so if nobody is giving me direction, I'll just help bail.
You can see. So that halfling that you spoke to earlier is the first mate. and it's sort of a comical scene because he's behind the wheel of the ship, and now that it is at an angle, this little halfling, he's not a character that you would have expected to see on the ship because he's just a little. His clothing is all like oversized, and his tri-corner hat is just a little too big, so he's kind of got this like silly appearance, and he's hanging on for dear life to this wheel as it's spinning, and he's kind of sliding at a 40-degree angle as the ship is turning. He needs some assistance in steadying
All right.
the rudder.
So I will do that. I'll run and try to get underneath him and the wheel, and we'll try to together get some control.
All right, what kind of check would you like to make?
I don't know. I can roll. Maybe I should roll an acrobatics to see how beautiful it was when I flew over there. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I don't know. You tell me.
I think you could make a case for it to be an acrobatics. Maybe I don't know. How are you steadying him? Are you kind of holding him up, or taking a?
I'm like springing in there in such a way where I am holding him so that we are combined, having weight together, and then also just trying to hold it up together. So I just kind of like dove into the situation.
Sounds good. Let's see it. Okay, another pretty fantastic. You go over there and you help to gain control of the wheel that was spinning out of control, and you steady him so that he's on his feet. Tips his hat and he thanks you, and he says, "Why don't you take the right side of this thing? I'll take the left side, and together, kind of balance ourselves out here."
All right. So I do that. I'm sure it looks even double the craziness.
Yeah, it doesn't lend a lot of credibility to the crew of the Raging Bull.
Like children driving a car.
Yeah. You get the pedals, and I got the steering wheel. And together, we will make this happen. Magnus, what would you be doing?
Sitting in my cot reading a book. No, I'm joking. I'm going to be walking around, offering words of encouragement, doing some medicine, healing wounds, casting aid, enhance abilities when they need it. So just be an all-purpose, try to help everybody that I can.
Okay, probably some kind of a charisma-based check.
Yeah, I was thinking persuasion.
All right, give me a persuasion check. All right, so you can see the spirits lift as you make your way up and down the deck of the ship, as a number of them are struggling and losing hope as they lose grip on the front mast there. And you can see they're trying to gain control of it, but no one is panicking because of the calm and the confidence that you're instilling in them.
William, stop slacking. William, get to work.
I'm clearly working.
At this point, I'm going to go, I am not going to die on this boat so close to retirement. Now, I'm going to let you out, but don't you fuck me. You fuck me and I'm going to come kill you. Do you understand me?
I'm going to show you I'm not interested in...
History says otherwise. I'm going to release the chain.
All right. And
point of inspiration to William.
Yay! All right, then I will continue splashing.
All right. So you are released from the manacles, and perhaps just in time, because the good news is half of you succeeded on the check and half of you failed. So there is going to be a complication here. Everybody give me a dexterity saving throw. I'm looking for 13 or higher.
So close.
Oh no. Oh
Nope.
no. So, the crew is trying to get a handle on this ship, and they finally get control of the front mast. But then the ship kind of lurches and almost corrects itself a little too much, such that there's a little bit of kind of a seesaw effect that happens, and it ends up most of you grab hold of something nearby, or rope, or you steady yourselves. But Selvin and Sliver, you kind of get propelled from the ship. Neither of you failed so poorly that you were just flung into the sea to die, which is good. But the two of you now are sliding off the ship. You're falling towards the starboard. You give me a strength saving throw. Perhaps you will be able to grab onto something before you. Oh no!
I didn't grab squat.
Selvin, you managed to grab hold of the edge of the ship, and you're hanging on for dear life. You're able to pull yourself back up onto the deck, but Sliver, you go tumbling down with a splash into the sea. A number of you see this happen. And Sliver, you're not alone. There actually is another member of the crew that is in the sea as well. What did the rest of you do? You see that the two crew members have just tumbled into the ocean.
After I regain my bearings, I start immediately pulling out my rope, trying to tie a knot around the front end of the ship and throwing a rope overboard.
All right, Sliver. The ship is rocking, and distance between you and the ship is that gap is widening at an alarming rate. But this bit of rope comes dropping down for you. This maybe is your last chance to get onto the ship.
Alex,
Sliver will grab that rope and go.
Alex, is it possible to give someone else inspiration with your inspiration? Can you pass it? I'm not sure how that works. Does it work that way in D&D?
Traditionally, I have not allowed that, but I think in this instance, I will.
All right. Well, I will. I'll call Hollow over the edge. Be like, Master Sliver, or whatever your name is, grab on that rope or you're toast. And I'll give him my inspiration.
All right, Sliver, I'm looking for a strength athletics check. Looks like you've got an inspiration.
That's an extra D4, right?
Just roll again. You'll take the higher of the two. And you've got the wicked spin on your die.
There it goes.
That was a lot of buildup for a 3. But your original roll there was a 16. That's good enough. I was looking for a 15 on this roll. So you pass, and you grab hold of the rope. And with Selvin's assistance, perhaps you are able to struggle and get back up. It is a struggle because of how high up you got to go to get back up into the ship. Some 4 flights or 4 levels of the ship, but you make it up.
I'll use a key point and step the wind to go up as well, so I just get a little extra quicker movement.
Awesome. So, there is another crew member that is overboard. Anything from anybody that wants to do anything about that?
So the first mate and I are just hanging on to this wheel, right?
Yeah. So you're probably preoccupied with that.
I would try to do something similar to what Shiver did with a rope, like try to throw a rope. Is it too far at this point? That's all
Uh,
I've got is rope. I'm a fighter.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
tie a
that-
crowbar to it to give him like a. Made it sink too fast. Never mind.
You see you throw your rope down, and it's a human boy. Like a 15-year-old boy. He's struggling as the rope as he grabs onto it. He's going to need a little bit of assistance to be pulled up. So,
Okay.
strength
I'm gonna
athletics
touch-
check.
Before he does
Okay.
that, I'm gonna touch
I will assist.
him on the back. So I'm gonna touch Sister in the back and say, "Oh, don't take this the wrong way. I'm just giving you a little bit of encouragement and gonna give him some guidance."
Okay.
All right.
So it sounds
Sort of
like you've got
grab-
advantage and guidance. Looking for a 15, and you've got it. So you manage to pull this young lad up, and he dumps
Thanks,
himself into the ship, and he's coughing up water, but he's going to be okay.
All right. Breathe easy there, son. Thanks, Bill.
No worries. And I'll kind of get down to the kid and say, "Yeah, I was a doctor back in the capital. Let me take a look and just kind of check him out, make sure he's okay."
Give me a medicine check.
All right. Oh, I didn't take medicine. Damn it. I'm gonna change my stat.
Yeah, I'm a doctor, but
You
I
are
got my degree
the
from
best
University of
doctor.
Samoa.
He is a good doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
Yeah. So
Got a star in
15.
religion.
Well, so you check him out, and perhaps he has a bunch of water that has entered into his lungs, but you help perform CPR, and he's going to be fine. He's just a little frazzled from this event. So, for the next couple of hours or so, you persist through the storm, but the crew gets a handle on it. Once everyone's in their position, they're getting used to listening to the captain, taking his orders. You get through and you weather the storm, and make it through to the other side. When suddenly, once you get from out of the dark storm clouds, it lights up, sunny skies, and you are sailing into warmer weather now. As night falls, the crew gathers topside. You can see that the female dwarf, Kilvara Dirty Bones, she's got another full jug of this rum that's being passed around, and the crew is kind of, decompressing after the stress of the day, and they invite you all to gather with them. And Kilvara, she looks at you, Selvin. She says, "So, did that bit of weather cure your stomach?"
Oh, you can say that again. It definitely did. I'll say that. I was not expecting it to go that bad so quick.
She kind of tosses the jug into your arms, and she says, "Have a pull off that. You earned it."
Yeah, and I don't actually sip it. I just put my lips in it and just like, thanks, and pass it.
And she says, "So, well, I've been through some storms, but that is one of the worst in my recent memory. After dreadful events like this, sometimes it's customary amongst our crew to speak of good fortune, of times when our luck was on our side. Tell me, do any of you have such a story, such a tale?" And she looks to you, sister, and she says, "Please, share with us a story of your luckiest day."
My luckiest day was 3 years ago. We were chasing a bunch of assassins down one of the main streets in our city. And I tripped on a rock and I fell down. The knife went over my head. Happens to be my partner's least lucky day.
Ha. That's what I'm talking about. Luck like that you can't replicate, you can't capture it in a bottle. That's the kind of luck we had today that we are all still alive. Say, have you all heard the rumors about our captain?
Rumors can be a dangerous thing. I've heard nothing.
Rumors can also be a very helpful thing.
I hear that he has something that he is keeping from the rest of us. Some of the boys say that they saw him late at night transporting a large chest onto the ship. Nobody knows anything about that. When some of the crew approached him to help him out, he refused, and he seemed quite touchy about it.
You're telling me a pirate has a secret stash on the ship, and this is a rumor, not just everyday occurrence?
These are
Yeah.
pirates?
I mean, look at them. Not to be rude, I'm just saying.
I maybe sailed with a pirate crew or two in my past, but I'm on the straight and narrow now. I've been with this crew for some time now, several years, in fact. I have never seen such behavior out of our captain. You aren't the least bit curious about what could be in that chest?
You're saying you don't have large crates on this boat?
None that are secreted onto the ship in the dead of night by the captain himself. That is work for the lowly grunts like us.
Maybe it was something for his cabin, his quarters.
Maybe. I'd
And
like
maybe
to see
not.
it.
Well, why don't you ask the captain?
What's the purpose of what's the captain's purpose on this voyage? Is it just passengers, or do you have are you laden with other goods? Where are you going after this island?
I hope that we will be returning back to port. Back to Sepularum.
So he brought a large chest down and he's taking it on the voyage and he's going back with it. Could be provisions, could be something he wants to keep close. Still interesting.
Certainly sounds suspicious. To be honest, I've got bigger problems on my mind than a strange minotaur's chest. But my experience, people in power tend to abuse it. So.
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
Could be something private.
Whatever it may be, it sounds like it's way above our pay grade.
It could be none of our business, too.
Is there anything about her that's setting off an alarm bell? Like she's trying to start a mutiny or trying to cause divisiveness?
Make an insight check.
Oh, I didn't take insight. Sweet.
You think she's trying to start some kind of insurrection here on the ship?
Inspector Christian and Dr. Raincourt. We're great.
All sorts of red flags about that maybe she's looking to grab control. But for the moment, she doesn't verbally say anything about that. She just looks at you, William, and she kind of holds up the jug and gives it the universal, hey, this thing's empty. And she tosses it to you, and she says, why don't you go down and fill up for us?
Certainly, I can do that. and I'll take it.
I'm going to follow William down.
So William and Magnus are.
I'm not letting William out of my sight. He doesn't have his chain on.
Sounds good. So William, sister.
Sister,
and-
you're coming with? You coming with, sister?
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
Yes, of course I am.
You could use the company then. You two, I look at Father Magnus, kind of like shadowing me. You coming too, Father?
Of course. I
Well,
want
we
to
can
make
just party.
sure you're safe, Father.
Oh. I'm a man of the cloth, but please don't call me father. That's my father.
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
All right, Doctor, lead the way.
I don't know. The players don't know what's happening right now. There's like a gem war that is happening. I've never seen the Bit Boss trade back and forth so many times. Thank you guys for the cheers. So William and sister and Magnus, you're all heading down. Oh, hey, thanks for the subscription. 5 months.
Huzzah!
Woo!
That would make bits work.
One more month, and I think you get the little castle badge. So the three of you are heading down. What are Selvin, Sliver, and Taragic doing?
Sliver is going to be looking for some sort of ink and quill. He needs to write a note really quick just for the one who threw the rope to save him.
Okay.
He just wants to kind of just write down a note and just prick his finger and just put a mark of blood on it and give it to him as a blood debt for saving his life.
So actually, you'd probably be heading down as well. You won't find anything like that topside, but if you go down into the quarters, certainly you could scrounge something like that up.
Other than that, he would just kind of just focus on that. He really doesn't know anybody. He wouldn't be really talking to anybody or anything.
How about Selvin?
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
Information being released that something's up and someone would make sure no one's trying to make any suspicious moves towards the captain's quarters or looks relatively on edge. Shared.
Sure. So with the rest of the group gone, Kilvara continues to she's kind of stirring the pot. She's trying to see if any of the other crew are interested in this bounty. Are you you guys have kind of interjected a little bit. Magnus added his 2 cents. Selvin, you've said something. I'll let one of the two of you make a persuasion check at advantage with the other's help to try to see, is the crew going to be interested in... You know what they're talking about, so I imagine that the two of you are trying to dissuade and pump the brakes on this curiosity.
Do you want to do it since you're still up there?
I'll help.
I'll roll.
It's all you.
Thank you.
All right. So you seem to get the sense that your kind of dismissal of this idea that there's something special in the captain's
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
is some kind of it is speculation that over nothing. It seems like other people have bought into this and believe you, and so there isn't a whole lot of action happening in this conversation. You managed to keep it under control. Meanwhile, let's see. I'm going to start dropping a few tokens on the map just so I have some sense of where characters are. So Master Sliver, you'd probably be down here on the gun in the gun deck.
Sounds good.
let's see. I'm sorry, Taragic. Where were you? Were you headed down as well?
Yeah, I'm coming with.
Okay. So the rest of you would
Sorry,
be.
Nope, sorry.
Oh, go
You
ahead.
said no.
Alex, are you putting us on a boat map?
Yes. Sorry. I guess I haven't shared that, have I?
It's all good. Just making sure. I thought we
Since
were on
I
an island.
rolled
I was like,
for that persuasion, can I stay up top then?
Yeah, that's what you guys are doing. Is having
It
that
makes
conversation.
sense that I would have stayed up. Yep, you're right.
all right, after Sliver gets his chance to dig around for Quill, I want to talk to Sistress for just a second.
Okay. So do you kind of wait for Sliver?
Yeah, I just don't want to step on his moment, so I just wanted to have a quick moment with Sister.
Okay. So Sliver, would you like to tell me what you are penning in your message?
So just and the note's going to be kind of very secretive. It's just going to be for Selvin there, and in very broken, common, like many multiple spelling errors. It's kind of difficult to make out, but you kind of get the point. It so much says, many thanks for giving me another gift of life this season. As long as it doesn't affect my goals on this island, I promise I will repay the debt I owe you for saving my life. And it will be signed with my name all broken. So it won't even look like Sliver. It'll look closer to Splinter. And then it'll have a splash of blood that goes across from the top left to the bottom right.
Sounds good. I'll give you a point of inspiration for that as you're penning that letter. And then William and Sister, you're having a conversation.
Yeah, just as we're kind of going down, I've got the flask. I'm just gonna look at him and say, "You're making that face again."
What face?
You know the one. You think something's wrong.
I always think something's wrong. That's why I always have this face.
No, you're making that special face. You're making the face that you make when you think you found a criminal.
Mm.
What do you think is going on here?
I don't know. It doesn't seem right that somebody would bring a large chest down for provisions for an entire boat to make a trip to the island back and not share it with anybody unless they're making a delivery.
So you think that maybe there's a chance I'll get out of this exile?
No.
I'm just kidding. Bit of gallows humor.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't cost me any pain if you cause problems. My hope is, after some time, that the Lord will release me from exile. So I just need to stay alive for a little bit. But if you are curious and you want to go looking about, I promise I'll be good.
Well, Alex, did we know that the I'm assuming the cask of rum that we're going to fill up the nasty pitcher with is below deck, and that it might be.
Yeah, it would be in the hold.
All right. Well, as long as we're going, we might as well look. Just a little peek.
Actually, and as I guess I put you down on the hold, but something will happen once you get to the Orlop deck here. As you're making your way down, you see the cook come running. And he says, the dwarf that Magnus had interacted with earlier. Again, he's just kind of intoxicated. It's a little hard to take him seriously, but he runs up and he says, "Don't go down there! Don't go down there! I heard noises! Something down there."
There's noises everywhere.
Oh.
What kind of noises?
Groaning. Okay, there's noises like that everywhere too, but this one's different.
How long you been on this boat?
I've been with this crew for 5 years.
And this boat?
Yes.
And this is different.
It's very different. It doesn't sound... And he's struggling to find the word to describe this. He says, it may be animalistic.
All right, Doctor, let's go take a look. And I draw my sword.
I don't have anything on me.
No.
All right, that's fine then.
I'm sure you've got a couple tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, one or two, literally.
So
All right.
you start to head down. You can tell that it's dark down there. No lights.
Are we near Taragic? Is he standing right next to us?
I think
On the
so.
boat? Okay.
I'm with the first mate, so wherever the first mate is, I am. I'm just trying to buddy with.
He's probably actually up top. So
okay.
You're talking with the first mate.
Yep.
Yeah, you'd be up top then. So
Do we?
Sister William and Sliver, are you three heading downstairs?
Yeah,
I'm
Alex, can
wondering
I?
if we shouldn't get our friends.
Yeah. While Sister's sort of deciding what to do with the friends, can I just scoop up some water and like say a little prayer and bless it, and have like a pinch of holy water for a spell component?
Yeah, there'd be some kind of like a cistern or a barrel of water or something in the kitchen, so you can do that.
So I'll do a little like rite. Say, all right, hold on 1 second. So if you're gonna get some others, go get them. Otherwise,
All right. I'm going to just see if I can grab the other people that helped with rescuing people and see if they wanted to come with,
it's a good idea.
including the vomiting dragonborn. Maybe more to this boat than we thought. Now the cook's hearing stuff in the hold. Maybe you want to check it out. And then that's what I say to everybody. I don't know what they do, but I'm turning back around and going.
So,
Trying not to grab a lot of attention. I really don't want to create a panic.
Sure. Selvin, you can see, as that conversation, or as Sister comes in and proclaims that, his eyes get wide and he says, you think there's some trouble?
Probably just ghosts of the night, but I might as well go check it out. And I'll leave from my seat and proceed.
And then he turns to Taragic and says, Taragic, what do you think? Are you going to check that out?
Yeah, we should check it out. Do you think we need weapons for this?
I don't know. I don't know the nature of what's being held down there.
All right. Well,
You're not trying to trick me into giving you a knife again, are you?
I'm trying to trick you into not letting us both die. But let's check it out.
Okay. He's puzzled. He's trying to work that out, and he goes with you. Magnus, what will you be doing?
This is silly talk. I'm going to my quarters. I'm going to wait for everybody to go down. Then I'm going to the captain.
Okay. Sounds good. So you kind of like make your way over the captain's quarters right here on the deck. All right. So the rest of you are making your way down. It is dark down in the hold, so some light will be necessary.
Before we go much further, I'll just say, hold on a second. I've got something I want to do, and I'll pull out that little like bit of holy water that I put, and I'm gonna cast bless, and I'll cast bless on Sliver. I'll look at Taragic, who has no weapons, and then I'll cast bless on Sister, and I'll cast bless on Selvin. Say, sorry, Taragic, but
Yeah, don't protect the halfling. It's just the halfling. He knows the first mate.
So you make your way down into the hold, and you produce a torch or a lantern or something, so that you can very visibly see what is going down here, and you can all make a perception check as you're coming down.
God.
Oh wow.
Selvin, you hear as you're coming down the steps, what sounds like mouths chewing. There's kind of the smacking of chewing noises that are kind of heard kind of opposite these great casks of barrels. Originally, we were coming down here to fill up a jug of rum, and so you're hearing it from the other side of these barrels.
I will relay this information to the group. And who doesn't have a weapon?
I
do
don't,
not
but
have
I'm
a
okay.
weapon. I might need a weapon.
I'll throw down 2 javelins and say, "Have at it." And I will take point.
So I'm gonna kind of get eye to eye approval from the second mate. First mate, I don't want to just pick it up without his approval.
He seems to give you a nod, like it's okay. He understands there's something going on here. He understands there's danger.
Do I have the ability to like disassemble or break this javelin to make it into like a shiv or a dagger?
Sure. You could make like an athletics check. See if you can kind of crack it in this. Nope.
It's a really strong javelin.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, is it still day 3?
Yeah, it's like the evening of day 3.
Evening of day 3. Okay. I've got. Is it lit down here?
I am running under the assumption that one of you will eventually light a torch or a lantern. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything.
It will not be me. I need my shield and my sword, folks.
The
Anybody?
halfling grabs one of your torches or one of your lanterns, and he's holding the light up for you all.
Thanks. Well, that's. I didn't. Who heard it? I didn't hear it, so because I rolled a 3.
It was I heard it and I relayed the information.
Oh, okay. All right.
What would you like to do?
Let's go in that direction.
So you
round the corner.
Round the corner, you take a peek, and you can see on the other side of these casks, there's 4 large rats that are gnawing on a body. One of the crew members, you recognize him. None of you interacted with him necessarily, but he's sprawled out on the ground, and you can see these gigantic creatures just. And they're not. They're giant rats, and they don't look well. They look odd.
Diseased.
Yeah, patches
We
of
got
fur, skin exposed. They just look not right. Yeah, diseased. And so, as you're making your way around, I think, let's see, Selvin, you were probably the point. I'm just going to kind of toss your tokens here, and we will roll initiative.
Here we go.
And the rats are going to end up going first. The first one, they all hear you kind of clamoring down here. And this first rat moves ahead and is just kind of like sniffing around, and it gets up on its hind legs, like checking the party out. The second one gets right up by you, Selvin, and tries to bite at you. but you were easily able to evade its attack. The next one comes scurrying forward, and this one will have advantage because of pack tactics. That is a 15, which is a miss. And this final one doesn't flinch. It just remains on top of this body that it has underneath of it, and it's just ripping muscle tissue and flesh out from it. William,
Yeah, some
it is
dinner to
your
eat.
turn.
All right, I'm going to say, oh, this is nasty business. That's what I get for being exiled, I guess. And then I'll kind of slip up behind Selvin and say, Selvin, mind if I slip by you? And I'm going to step up to there, if that's okay with you, Alex.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast Burning Hands. So, from my angle, am I able to hit 3 rats here?
Yes.
So, quick question. Does Burning Hands one of those ones where it sets everything on fire?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm not going to do that then, because we're on a boat.
I was excited about that.
Oh, come on, you gotta do it now.
I know. I'll be like, I'm sorry. All right. Instead, I will cast for fun. I will cast Fairy Fire. So if I remember correctly, Fairy Fire gives everybody advantage on the creature that I hit with it, right?
Yep. I think you can get those 3 in there.
Yep. So I'll just kind of. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on. What are the components? Sorry, I'm making this too complicated. Yeah, good. It's just verbal. So I'll just speak a little spell, and then I'm gonna Fairy Fire these 3 here. And let me see if I can drop the effect on them. Okay, that's my turn. Oh, and then I'll step back.
I believe it's a dex save first.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm
Pretty
sorry.
sure.
You are right. One failure.
Fails. One succeeds.
One succeeds. Take that effect off of him. Her. It. Dang it! The other one succeeds. Okay.
All right. So, rat number, what was it? Number 1 is lit up by what color?
Pink.
Pink. So if you are attacking, well, I guess you get the effect on there, so party doesn't have to worry about it. Sounds good. Master Sliver, it is your turn.
Okay. William there backed away, yeah? If that's the case, I'm going to slip in right to where he was, if that's okay. And then I'm going to attack Giant Rat number 3.
William, did you ever actually move into that space?
No, because
Okay.
I realized the fire. I would know
Sure.
not to step foot on fire. Hopefully.
All right, so Sliver, you move right up next to Selvin, and
I'm just going to unarmed strike number 3 there.
all right,
And
27
right
just
off
barely
the bat,
hits.
Good, yeah. I'm going to Fury of Blows it as well. So that's the first one that hit, and then the Fury of Blows.
And which one are you attacking?
3.
Because the attack is going to be enough to bring it down. I think you could probably
okay.
declare Flurry of Blows after.
Yeah, it's
process.
after my first
Yeah.
attack.
So that one goes down. And then, did you make another attack roll?
Well, no, because my Fury of Blows is after my initial target, or can I Fury of Blows number 2?
I have never played a monk, but I believe that Flurry of Blows is extra attacks, right?
Yeah, it's 2 extra attacks.
I don't think they have to be the same target. I think you could choose a different
Okay.
target.
Then that's
Long as
Fury
they're
of
melee
Blows
range.
number 2.
And an 11 will be a miss, but the 20 is a hit.
Nice.
And that one goes down. And then it is Sister's turn.
Okay. Alex, would it be? Never mind. We only got 2 more. I'm gonna hand my sword to William, and don't F me, and then pull out my crossbow and try to shoot this one. How do I ping these guys? Diseased giant rat 1.
Okay. Well, you should be able to attack it yourself.
Oh yeah. Do you care? Like, can I hand my sword to William and still use the attack, or is that an action to hand my sword off?
Handing your sword off would probably just be interacting with an object, so you could hand it off.
Okay. Okay, cool. So then I use my crossbow on the one rat right in front of me. Well, not right, but why? Oh, I have advantage because he's got fairy fire.
He's got a fairy fire, yeah. So you hit.
Yeah. Okay. And that is. I keep moving my sheet in front of the thing I want to throw on. Okay.
So a giant rat has this bolt sticking out of its side, and it's screeching and squealing, but it's still moving. And then
All right, that's all I got.
we are turning to Father Magnus Bane. So you wanted to talk to Captain Falthrin, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pound on the door and say, Captain, I need to talk to you about the terrible food on this ship.
And he will open the door, and he'll come out, and he'll say, you tell all the other crew members, including Kilvara Dirty Bones, they all kind of clam up, and they've been talking about him, so they all kind of clam up, and he says, terrible food on this ship? Of course it's terrible!
Where do you keep it? Because it might be spoiled, and I can take care of that.
You could go down and talk to Steinbreath in the kitchen.
Yeah, let's both of us do that right now.
Well, I fail to see the need for me to go do that.
You said you'd take care of anything I needed, didn't you?
Well,
I need you to do this.
Suppose I can do that. And as he turns around to kind of go with you to head down into the kitchen, you can see that a number of the crew has gathered around him with weapons drawn. None of them, it is not Kilvara. She's kind of looking on stunned. But it is a male member of the crew that has a rapier drawn and is pointing it at Captain Falthrin's neck.
That's not good.
And I think I'll just leave it at that for that turn in the initiative. But let me drop some tokens here.
So is it just one sailor, or is there more holding weapons?
It's 5 in total.
Oh, combat.
All humans. Selvin, it is your turn.
I will unholster my flail from my waist, start winding it up, and bring it right down on the diseased rat right in front of me. Damage by accident.
Have you used Fantasy Grounds much with Dale?
No, this is my first time actually using it as a player.
So there's a what you could do is like where your weapon is, and you've got the little button for the D20 that says +6. You can click and drag that and drop it on the target that you want to try to hit. Perfect. So that'll hit.
And it'll take. If it comes up, did not come up.
I didn't see any damage.
All right, I'll just reroll it then.
So your step, are
6
you
damage?
okay? 6 points on this first one. That'll take that one down. That one was already hurt.
And I will move up to the second rat and ready myself. And that should be my turn.
All right. Back up top, this humanoid that has the weapon drawn, Magnus, you can see its head just splits right down the center, and it kind of rips open, almost like the head of that thing from the Stranger Things, the Demogorgon. You know, it's kind of split. It's got razor sharp teeth. This is the deep scion creature. I'll share the image. But as it drops its human disguise, it starts to lay into the captain.
Does it drop the weapon?
It does, actually. As you can see, big claws kind of are elongating out of its fingertips. It lets out this horrid screech that you can see all the other crew members around are grabbing hold of their ears. This ends up being a wisdom saving throw, which stuns you. And let's see if he stuns the captain as well. He does. So both you and the captain are stunned for, I think it's 1 round. Until the end of its next turn.
Ooh.
Rat.
Teragic, it is your turn.
All right. So I'm gonna step in here with my. Oh, I have a javelin. I'm just gonna throw it. Oh, it doesn't do anything.
$16 at the rat, that will hit.
All right, and 3 damage.
3 points of damage. All right, it is still up. The diseased rat now you have its attention. It moves up to Selvin and attacks 22 to hit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will hit.
Deals 4 points of damage, and then your character makes a Constitution saving throw, and you are able to stave off the effects of disease. William, it is your turn.
So, a point of order, Alex, I messed up and I had 2 concentration spells going at once. I didn't realize Fairy Fire was concentration. So, the Bless effect needs to go off.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's just my bad.
I don't think it affected anything.
Yeah. I would not have done it, but that's me being dumb. So, or with William being dumb. So then, Sacred Flame time on the rabbit, like, ugh, disgusting little thing, and then but that's a saving throw, right? Yeah. So just
So
little
you end
pink
up
flame
taking
just
it
like
down.
burns it up.
It is
I'm gonna
probably
run
at this
over to-
at this time you hear this like piercing scream. It's not close enough that it affects any of you, but you have some sense of alarm as you hear this terrible, monstrous noise from up top.
Like, does everyone hear that?
Yes, it's sounds like trouble. Go upstairs, take care of the rat.
All right,
Master
let's
Sliver's
go.
gonna stay quiet and just start moving towards the stairs and going up towards the noise.
Yeah, Alex,
Uh,
any of this terrain difficult?
I'm gonna say no. Just you'd be moving around the barrels, but other than that,
Okay, because I think I was here, and then I would go like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll get to like the stairs.
very good.
I have
The
45 feet of movement, so I don't know where I'd be going.
okay, hold on one second till we get to your turn. So Captain Falthrin is just holding on to his ears, and this creature, Magnus, you can only kind of barely make it out, but he speaks, and he does so in almost like this telepathic kind of language, but he's broadcasting it out to you all, and he says, my master, the great one below the sea, the one who tolls, has sent me here for these artifacts. And you can see he kind of signals to his crew to the captain's cabin. And then it is Master Sliver's turn.
Okay, so I'm pretty quick. You said that like the water jug would be hard terrain.
You just can't move through any of the tiles that have the barrels.
Okay, so it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then with my last bit of movement, can I just jump the railing from here to here? Is that possible? For my last
Give
5
me
feet?
give me an acrobatics check, DC 11. Sure, you're able to make that make up that distance by doing that.
Okay.
Sister, it is your turn.
All right. Is it okay, Alex, that sort of we say that I had kept, because I had intended to have kept William's gear, because my character was supposed to give him his gear when we got on land, so that I could show him where his stuff is down here.
Oh yeah, sorry, I guess I didn't mention that. Yeah, the stuff for William, who else? Sliver and Taragic would be down here.
All right, so would I know where it is since I'm the one who brought it down
Yeah.
here? I could, like,
Although,
so I won't have to do like an
it's-
investigation check.
No. You guys could just have your stuff. We could just hand wave
Okay.
that. It's probably not even like your stuff. It's just stuff that is here. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I would have loaded the convict's gear probably on the boat, but anything that was on your inventory sheets, you now have.
The backstory I had kind of written was that actually his the person he was having a dalliance with gave me his stuff to give him a fighting chance on the island, and I was going to
Gotcha.
slip it to him.
Sure.
So,
yeah, it's here then.
Okay. All right. So William, your stuff's over there. Let's. I don't know how long it's going to take you to get armored up, but we need to get upstairs.
Yeah, I'll just grab my shield and my holy symbol, just some items.
All right. Can we start running, or
Yeah, you can do your movement speed.
I have no idea where all the stairs are. Let me see.
Yeah, do you see where you are standing? If you just kind of
Oh, that's
follow
the
that.
stair. Okay.
Yep, follow that to the left. You'll
Yep.
see the stairwell.
I'll pull William back and tell him to go find his stuff, and then I'll move forward. Up. I don't know how to count this out, but how far do you think I can get? Like up to the? Can I get up to the main deck in one move?
Let's see. Where did you start out?
We're in the Orlop deck, and I was right here. I don't think I could get that far. Could I maybe get to the gun deck or whatever this says here?
This right where your token is right now is where you started.
That's William anyway.
Okay,
I
so-
started right here.
Gotcha. All right,
Like,
so
I could probably get to
5,
the
10,
stairs.
15, 20, 25, 30 will get you to the stairs.
Okay. And I'm gonna dash.
You could get to like, we'll say right there. Oops, that's not even the right token. Sorry.
Yeah, I just move William
Right
all
there.
over. There we go.
All right. So up
All right,
top,
cool.
the bandits are starting to split. Well, this first one is actually going to try to knock out the captain while he is stunned. Hits him with the flat end of his scimitar, or hits him with a scimitar, dealing 7 points of damage. Second one actually moves 5, 10, 15, moves past you, Magnus, and starts searching the room. Bandit 3 is going to attack the captain. Hits. Deals 2 points of damage. This fourth one runs over and attacks Magnus while he's stunned. Hits with a 21. Deals 7 points of damage. Becomes Magnus's turn. You're stunned. Selvin, it is your turn.
I will grasp my flail in my hand and my holy symbol and say pillar guy in my hand, and I will cast thunderous smites on my flail and dash upstairs.
All right. So, if you can count it out, great. Otherwise, if you want to estimate, you probably get to just about where Sister is.
That probably sounds good. I have 60 feet of movement, so it's probably
Yeah.
the best.
Probably get to about the same spot then. The Deep Scion is going to attack. He gets 3 attacks. One with his bite, which he hits the captain. 6 points, and then 2 claws. Ooh, one misses. The other 21 to hit. Deals 8 points of damage. And Father Magnus's stunned effect goes away, as does the captain's. And then it is Teragic's turn.
All right, so I have picked up all my gear along with William, and I am gonna get as close as I can get. I'm not sure how close I can get.
Probably
Maybe
probably about where like Sister is.
all right. I'm all in my leather armor, and I've got my dagger put away, and I've got my rapier wrapped up in an old scarf, and I got a short bow in my hand.
William.
All right, I will make my way up. So it's gonna be. Wait a minute. Why am I here? I should have been here. Okay. I'm gonna run up the stairs, and I'm gonna run past Sister. Hold on, Fantasy Grounds is crashing. Stop it. And as I'm running past Sister, I'm gonna hand out the sword and be like, "Take your thing." And then I'm gonna run further up. And I'm gonna take my. Well, actually, first of all, how far? If I just take 30 feet of movement, can I get to? It's like what, 2 feet? Like 10 feet of movement per staircase. So like maybe I could get to like where? Can I get to
Sure.
the top? You think in 30 feet?
From
Okay.
where you are, you might actually be able to do it.
As I was on the staircase already, so I think 30 maybe.
Yep. You could
Okay.
get up top.
All right, so I hand the sword off to Sister, and I'll run up. And I am going to. Oh my god, I have 10 hit points. I just noticed that. And then I'm gonna run up there, and I'm gonna see all this craziness on the deck. And is it clear like these bandits are like these pirates are out of their mind and attacking? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I will. I'm gonna use Sacred Flame. So I'll Sacred Flame Bandit 3.
Saves.
And then I will stand there.
Captain Falthrin shakes off the effects of the screech, and he grabs his belaying pin and starts to swing. He first takes a swing at the Bandit 3 here, misses, and then he tries to swing to the other side at Bandit 1. And crit fails. Our poor captain here is not doing so well. He's got to roll his d6. And he rolls a 5.
Is he going to hit me?
No.
The poor father better say a prayer.
The only one that wanted combat, and I'm not going to get any.
Let's see what happens. He is vulnerable to all damage types for 2 rounds. He just kind of goes into a fury, and he's whiffing left and right. He's leaving himself like way open. He's just giving into the Minotaur stereotype. And Master Sliver, it is your turn.
So I believe with my 45 movement speed, I should be able to easily get up these stairs and I think toward by that scion, yeah? That'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then go over the railing, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, I should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to come right up. As I come up, like I said, he has great perception. He's going to come up and he's just going to attack the guy with the head split open as quick as humanly possible. And as a bonus action, I'm going to actually shapeshift. Well, not really shapeshift, but I'm going to use my shifter ability. And I'm going to shift. So all my rat-like features just become really prominent on my face. Like my everything elongates. My teeth get a little bit longer. You can see my fingers kind of stretch out more rat-like. I become very, very more engrossed in what I am.
That's a hit.
And I'll be at 19 to hit.
7 points.
And it'll be 7. And as I end my turn, my raceful feature will kick in. And because my turn's ending... No, wait, sorry. It's when his turn ends. Never mind. All right, and that will end my turn.
Very good. Sister, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to run up here, and I am going to take a quick look up and see if the sails are up on the mast and if they happen to be standing underneath them.
Yeah, the mast is up. Full mast.
Do I think I can hit anything to make it fall down with my crossbow?
Like you wanna see something fall down and hit.
I guess there's the bad thing is I imagine this sail would cover the entire quarter deck here, but I thought maybe it would create some confusion.
Trying to think of a way to like make that work. I don't know. There's always like weights and things like that. They're probably hoisted up. We'll say
Sure.
that there's a rope, that's hanging like a weight that's like holding a piece of the rigging together. If you with a good shot, maybe you could drop something down that would result in a distraction of some sort. I think it'll be a little bit tricky though. So we'll say 15 to hit.
Okay. I'm not sure it's worth it, but why not try weird things?
Do it.
C&D.
YOLO.
Where would I roll that on? Just roll it in the bowl here.
Yeah, just roll the Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, you shoot and like it sticks into like the wood of like the main pole that's like holding everything together.
All right, that
Do you
was
see something up there?
yes, all kinds of crazy. I have 10 feet of. I only used like 10 feet of my movement, right? So I'm gonna move the rest of my movement and action surge and sword this guy, the deep scion. Is that cool, Alex?
Yeah, I mean you could drop your crossbow and pull out your sword.
With the action surge? Okay. All right.
It's a hit. Nine points to the deep scion.
All right. Cool. That's my turn. Thanks.
Bandits are up. The first one is attacking Captain Falthrin. Takes a swing, hits, and this is going to be double damage. So he ends up taking, in truth, 12 points of damage because he's vulnerable. He's not looking good. Bandit number 2 is rifling around in the cabin. And you hear kind of like a sound of a jubilant sound of like triumph of like, aha, it's here. Bandit number 3 turns around, sees Sister standing there, and is going to take a swing with the scimitar. But a 12 will miss.
Alex, hold on 1 second. Just because Bandit 3 ended his turn next to me, I get a free disengage and I get to move 5 feet back.
Okay.
That's my racial feature. If anybody ends their turn within 5 feet of me, I get a free disengage and I get to move 5 feet back.
Cool. Sounds good. Bandit 4 is on Magnus. Takes a swing with the scimitar. 15 will miss. Magnus, it is your turn.
Get something to do. Okay. Where's the door to go into the captain's cabin?
You're standing right next to it.
So it's to the left of me?
Like right behind you.
Like over here? Or right behind me?
Right behind you.
Okay, I'm going to take a 5-foot step in and I'm going to cast a spell.
Put you in the cabin then.
Yep. Spiritual hammer. and
All
I'm
right.
going to put it right in front of that door.
Sounds good.
Sort of block the door. I read the spell. It doesn't say I have to keep an eye on it.
There's a token for you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That was my bonus action. And do I have enough to move to this guy right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to stabby with the longsword.
Okay.
And that's bandit 2. Where is my longsword? There you go. Do your thing, sir. I'm going to miss this round. And that is all I'm going to do this round.
All right. Selvin, it is your turn.
Alex, sorry to interrupt. I just read it wrong. It's actually 10 feet. I get to move back, not 5. It's when anybody ends their turn within 5 feet of me. That's my fault.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. But
yeah. So that was the goal intention, is to be there. I just, like I said, I read it wrong. I apologize.
No worries. Selvin, it is your turn.
I accidentally forgot to move myself on my last turn, so I should have been on the gun deck.
Sure.
So I think it's supposed to be like on the stairs. How far can I get with my 30 feet of movement onto the main deck?
You should at this point be able to get in range of any of the combatants if you would like.
I'd say I can move up towards bandit number 3.
Okay, sounds good.
Take attack. And I have Thunderous Smite still up on my flail because I haven't hit anyone yet.
Yes.
So I will take a strike. I don't know why it's not going through.
Let's see. 21 should hit.
He'll take 1d8 bludgeoning, 1d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage from the flail, and then 2d6 thunder damage from the Thunderous Smite. So he takes 11 points of bludgeoning just from the flail, and the Thunderous Smite, I believe, is that. What do I roll that?
So the effect is on you. So you just want to re-roll your damage. It'll do everything together.
All right, I see. Would I re-roll the just 2d6?
If you want, you could. If you want to keep that 11 for your flail damage, just toss 2d6 into the chat. That'll be fine.
He'll take an additional 10 points of thunder damage, and he has to make a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet back and knocked prone.
I think as a dead person, he will fail that check, and his body goes flying, and it kind of hits into the Minotaur, who bats the body away, and it flies into the wall that makes up the framing of the cabin door.
Other than that, I'll just take a look around the deck, make sure everything's okay, and then that should end my turn.
All right, sounds good. The Deep Scion will take its turn. It turns its attention to Sister. Tries to hit you with its claw. 16 will hit.
Yep.
Deals 6 points of damage. Second claw attack is a 21. 6 points of damage, and hits you with the right, hits you with the left, and it kind of like with its fingers are digging into your skin, piercing through your armor. It pulls you in and tries to bite you with that hideous mouth of its. 24 to hit.
Jeez.
5 points.
Cool.
Tragic. It is your turn.
All right, so I probably have enough to get up the stairs and come out like right there. And actually, am I able to move here? I have 25 movement speed, so probably not. All right. So I am going to attack. I'm going to attack the deep sky. Oh, my short bow. Oh, I just attacked my own person by accident. Sorry.
Well, you missed sister.
15.
Who did you want to hit?
The deep sky.
Okay. 15, I believe, will hit. Yes.
All right, and I am sneak attacking him because he's next to his friend, and so they're all grouped together. How can I miss? And so I think this is how I do my sneak attack now. That is not.
Yep. So if you roll your damage now, the 1d6 should roll with it.
Okay. So there we go.
10 points of damage.
I am a criminal. I almost killed one of our guys. Hurt one of them.
William.
All right. Hold on. Let me switch. Look at my actual spells I have set up. Okay. So I am going to walk up. I'm gonna kind of like poke around and see sister is getting ripped to pieces and be like, "Oh, sister, you have to keep it up. I'll patch you up afterward. Just don't die." And then I will cast Guiding Bolt on the Deep Scion. But I have to. There it is. Okay, this is attack roll, I believe. Here comes the Guiding Bolt. Oh, it hits.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
That's about as close as you can go. Okay. Here comes the damage. So you see a pink streak of light just
Nice.
whap him.
Big 21 points. Your head stumbles backwards as it's hit by that, and what is it? Light up its body, or you can just see
Yeah.
maybe there's like a glimmer of light that seems to be like giving the next person that hits a little target, like right here. This like the boss battle in any Nintendo game. This is the kill spot.
Like, hang in there, sister. I'll back up a little bit.
All right, Captain Falthrin still has that belaying pin out and takes a swing at Bandit 1. Hits. Puts a little damage on him. It's going to take a swing at this other bandit. Bandit number 4 hits also. Puts a little damage on him. It hits the two of them, but not enough so to drop them or knock them unconscious. Master Sliver, it is your turn.
Master Sliver, seeing the Scion all lit up and bright colored, he's going to run up and he's just going to jump in the air and go to kick it as hard as he can right in the head with like every little ounce of strength he has. Sorry, it's just not rolling there. Hold on.
Nice.
8 points of damage.
And then he's going to use his last key point just for a Fury of Blows, just to try and just kill it. While he's in the air, just cutting something like out of a Kung Fu movie. He's going to just kick it, turn, and just go to boot it again.
2 more hits. How do you want to finish him?
So as he comes up and he jumps through the air and the first kick hits, he's going to turn around and kick it again while in the air. And when he lands, he's just going to land on like his left foot and bring his right leg straight up, just right underneath that open flap of a jaw, just going to like kind of take its head right off with one really strong kick, just right.
Very nice.
Well, they probably should have chained his leg.
Yes, they forgot my legs are very, very powerful.
Sister, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action second wind, which I don't know where that is. There we go. Do I just roll my die here? It doesn't. Second wind just yeah.
Yeah, I probably or no. Just remind me later. I can get something on there to automate it.
Okay.
I'll make.
All right. So I get to with second wind. Do I get my con bonus to it? Or no, I just get the number.
Level. It's
plus my level.
Yep.
So I get 10. So my wounds are down to 7. And then that was my bonus action. I'm going to step up to this fool. And we'll take a swing or a stabby stab with the longsword at him. And I moved my character sheet right on him. Why? What is that? Oh, that's why. All right. Sorry.
All right. That hits. And he goes down.
All right. That's all. I'm going to just walk on.
It becomes the bandits' turns. They're both going, well...
There's 2 of them?
I'll hand wave it. Number 2 is aware enough of what's going on outside that they both surrender. They drop their weapons and put their hands up.
Oh, there he is.
As that happens, Captain Falthran directs the crew to tie these 2 up. And he's mulling over what to do with them. He turns to the party and says, "What do you think? What are we to do with these 2? Can't trust them."
I do not care what you do with them.
And then upon saying that, he's just going to head back down towards where his cell is and just begin to meditate.
Hey, Alex.
Yep.
Did I make sure that the artifacts were secured?
When you entered upon the room, you just saw that he was looking at a chest, which you suspect has the items.
Okay.
He didn't actually successfully open it, so you feel pretty confident that the items are fine.
Okay. Captain, let's chain them up.
He says, I can be okay with that, but are they to live?
Yes.
Explain.
They yielded. We're taking them to the island with us, and you can release them there.
I like you. You're a man of honor. I think you're right. This is the right thing to do.
I will take responsibility for both of them.
Fair
And
enough.
you got 2 more workers.
This is true. Thank you all for your assistance. I thought we did a good job concealing what this boat carried. I will explain. And he will invite you lot into his cabin, and he will explain the mission.
I'll drop my spiritual hammer.
He tells you that this ship was hired or has been sent to this isle to dispose and destroy these items, the Hand of Vecna and the Book of Vile Darkness. Even those of you that are, in theory, being sent to this isle to be convicts, he believes that you have proven your valor by selflessly putting yourself in harm's way to protect these things.
Are you saying that we're free?
Well, Magnus has a little problem with that.
What, with letting the convicts go?
One good action does not justify the reason you're here. It doesn't override it. You're here for bad reasons.
I'm here for a good reason, in my opinion.
The captain says, "You are here for reasons. You are here because you have committed crimes, and people who are in power have deemed you unfit for society. But I believe, I myself am not a man, no offense, Father, but I'm not a religious man, but I believe that your teachings likely give a path for redemption."
Sure. Complete the mission and they can have their freedom.
How generous.
What would you like me to do? Let you go free?
Well, no offense, Father, but I don't see that you're in charge of me. I think it's up to the captain.
No, it is the captain's decision. Correct. But
Captain-
like you said, I'm
Oh,
a man
go
of
ahead.
honor and he will listen to me.
That's fair. I trust the both of you. See what you see. Do what you see fit.
The captain addresses this to those of you that are convicts, and he says, "Of course, you can't be expected to prioritize what we are trying to do on this isle. You're free to leave as soon as we make our way there, as soon as we land. But if you were to help with this task and show that you want to earn your redemption, I have ways that I may be able to expunge your record."
I'll speak for any of you that help with the task of destroying evil.
I know none of you, and I owe none of you anything. The only person who I owe anything to is Selvin for saving my life. For that, I will stick around and I will assist him if he is going with you. But if my blood debt to him is paid, then if my duty and what I came to this island for is available, I am leaving to go take care of my business.
Well, sister, what do you think?
I think all of these people can make all the pronouncements about your fate all they want. Can't go back to our city.
I'm not asking for that, but despite your opinion of me, I'm not the kind to stand aside when something awful is happening. So I'll tell you
Well,
what
that-
I do, what I need to do here, and then we can talk later.
I'm not one to stand aside either, particularly since I was told this was my last assignment anyway. So, turns out I'm free.
I take out my dagger and my quiver. I start to hand it to the first mate, like, you guys decide. I don't need to have these weapons. And I'm just like, you guys decide.
I think you're gonna want those.
Oh, I didn't give away the rapier though, so.
You're like putting the rapier behind your back
Mm.
as you hand the dagger over.
At this point, you've proven yourself quite capable and trustworthy in the eyes of the captain. You'll all be able to keep those items that you used in battle. So, with that, the evening passes, and unless there is anything else that anyone wants to do,
I'm gonna tend to Sisterus's wounds. I know I'm not gonna use my healer's kit on it officially. But I just wanna send do a little bit of tender care and be like, Sisterus, you got wounded back. Let me take a look. I'm a trained professional.
All right, doctor.
And
Do
I'll
your
a little,
worst.
I'll do a little check, and I'll be like, you know what? I'll be honest. I'll put a little salve on it, but I think if you sleep it off, you'll be feeling pretty well. In the...
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, Palaver hasn't had a chance. What about you? And I point to the paladin. What's your stake in all this? You're not a prisoner.
A while back, I was not of my right mind, I'd say. But it was through Peller's guidance and light that I was brought to the church, and this is the last part of my quest to obtain my oath and begin my service to Peller itself. I believe that this is where I'm meant to be. And as I do that, I go over to Sister and say, let me. And I'll cast Lay on Hands, giving him 5 points of healing.
Thank you.
Just gotta figure out how to do that.
Or I just do it.
Show off.
Doctor, I seem experienced.
all right. So you tend to one another's wounds and are doing all of that. You'll end up taking a long rest and feel quite rejuvenated the next day, maybe a little sore and achy from being tossed about and whatnot. But you make it the next day and the next without incident. The crew tends to the ship as normal, although there's a little bit more of a somber mood as that person that was impersonating a crew member, there's just kind of like a sense of unease and distrust amongst the crew, and now there's clearly something deeper happening with the ship, and just a lot of anxiety amongst the crew. But the next few days pass without incident until the 7th day. This is the day that you are anticipating arriving. You all did very well earlier during the storm, so there was no extra time added to your voyage, which is a big plus. That would have been a big hurdle to overcome. But now you are no longer in the frigid temperatures of the wintry lands that you departed from. You are now in 90-degree weather. You can feel the sun beating down on you as you are looking out at the horizon. At some point, you hear someone shout out from the crow's nest, "Land ahoy!" Land ahoy! And the captain immediately turns in that direction, and you can see very faintly off in the distance, and Sister, with your eyes too, you can make out land on the horizon, and Sister, since you've got that feat, why don't you give me a perception check?
All right. Perception's not great, but anyway.
2. Okay.
You're doing great.
Investigation's where I drop my stuff.
Sisyphus, what do you see?
It's I don't know. It's so humid. There's like sweat running into my eyes. It burns. It stinks.
I'm just going to say that where the number 41 is on the map that I just shared, you can see like tiny dots, like forms. It's kind of far off as you're coming in, but you can just see there's some kind of forms hovering there above the water, but you're not sure what that is. And the ship is not headed in that direction necessarily. It's making its way towards this island. You've made it to the Isle of Dread. And then suddenly the whole ship starts to rock and shake and is moving very erratically. And you almost get the sense that it's lifting up out of the water. You feel yourself rising. And you can see the ship is like kind of, buoying itself up. And then you see a tentacle move up and grab hold of a piece of the ship. And then on the other side, on the starboard side, also. And the captain, who has been pretty much in in control. He took command of the ship during the storm. Even he has kind of a panicked look in his eyes. And he cries out to everyone, Everyone! Off the ship! Swim to shore! You can see at this point, by the time that this happens, is when you're getting closer and closer to shore. It was right at the point when the ship was about to throw the anchor overboard to start making its way inland. He orders everyone off. There's maybe 150 feet or so between the shoreline and the ship. You can see the crew members are starting to dive off.
I'm gonna go. Dive off.
Same.
I follow.
So
Right,
as
same.
you...
Change shirt.
Captain, are you coming with us?
He does.
Damn it! I gotta take my armor off.
So this was
That goes well.
somebody had wanted a Kraken to show up tonight. So this is how we're gonna do that. Yes, it was.
It's actually
Ron.
what everybody.
I thought people were just cheering bits because they loved, what we were doing so much. But then I saw the chat and I was like, oh, that's why.
Is that the rats or the random encounter?
Yeah, I thought the Deep Scion was.
So, you're all diving overboard. There's
Can I
still a
get
little
to
bit.
shore and chain now?
You're gonna be. You do a strength athletics check for me at disadvantage.
Okay.
Everyone can do strength athletics checks. If you are in heavy armor,
Or medium. Medium, okay.
Medium will be okay.
All right.
I am in heavy armor. I'm wearing chainmail as well, so at disadvantage.
Yes.
You said strength, athletics.
Yep.
Athletics. I'm super athletic.
Whoa!
Not athletic enough.
Yeah, it did.
Ooh.
All right. So, if you have a 13 or higher,
Oh, no.
Well, it's just a matter of how fast are you swimming. If you head lower than that, you are at the regular half movement speed.
Okay.
But this is an issue for, it seems like Father Magnus, Selvin, Sister, pretty much everyone except for Taragic is like heading for shore. But it looks like the rest
I
of
have
you.
to roll as well. I'm not wearing armor at all.
Yeah, you would have to make a strength athletics check.
At least you're not at disadvantage.
Heavy armor squad for the win.
Oh,
All
I have my
right.
inspiration. You know what? I can add that on because you said I needed a 13, right? Yeah.
What is that for?
You gave me an inspiration for the note I wrote.
Yeah, inspiration is advantage. So you
okay. Oh,
you
so I
could
just gotta
you could
reroll.
re-roll the you could roll the 20 again. Yep. Okay, so
There you
you
go.
make it. I don't know. There's a shark encounter here that I could do, but I'm looking at the time and maybe we'll skip it. Yeah, there's more that we could do, but seeing that we're a quarter to 10, I think this will probably be a good stopping point. You guys will stop the sharks. It'll be fine. And
It'll be fine.
you'll all make it. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up here and give you the synopsis of what happens. You all make it ashore. Big Kraken tears apart that ship, which is a problem for another day. The big issue is going to be that in the recovery of things from the ship, the trunk with the Hand of Vecna and the book is not found. And it's probably still mid to late morning at the point when you get to shore. So the first order of business is going to be that the foodstuffs that was on board the ship are now spoiled. Don't have a great source of fresh water immediately here on the beach. And there's going to be the matter of shelter for the night. So the next party is going to have to figure out how to deal with all of that the first night here on the island.
Does purify drinking water work for stuff like salt water?
Sure.
Yeah.
The only problem will
prep.
be you could do that for, like your immediate party, but you might not have the capacity to do that for this entire crew that you have.
Yeah, I don't have it prepped
But-
anyways. I'm just thinking ahead.
But yeah. When it comes time for the exploration piece, when you're, just your immediate party.
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man!
Hey, thanks. Who was that? Thanks for the cheer. Thanks for the cheer, Albinosaurus. Yeah, that would be very useful, very helpful in the jungles. The other piece to keep in mind here, and I will let Selvin and Magnus retcon their equipment if they want, because they may have missed this in the chat earlier, but heavy armor is going to be a bad idea in the jungle. It'll carry a lot of disadvantage, but you certainly can wear it. There'll just be a greater chance of earning exhaustion, which you may not want. So if that would influence a choice that you would have made to buy different armor or whatnot when you were back in the city, you can do that. But that will basically wrap up our session here. I gotta get you some EXP.
How much does a Kraken have?
A million.
Yeah,
All
go
the
back
X-
and fight.
How much do sharks have for real?
I think the shark that I had was a challenge rating 2, which I think is what is that 7? I don't know.
I think it's probably 300 or 400.
So you've all made it. You're all tired.
Well, we just swam 150 feet under.
Yeah.
Any sign of our lovely captain?
Yeah, everyone from the ship makes it to ashore. So he is there.
Chained up man.
With me having a movement speed of 90, if I'm dashing, I'm pretty sure I just ran across the water.
You know, monks can actually do that. Isn't it like a level 8 feature that they can run on water or something?
I think it's level 8 or 9, yeah. It is, I think.
That is so cool.
Monks
are
are
great.
so broken. At level 5,
Monks are
you're able to
impressive.
stunning strike people.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you like your turn? No, you can't have it.
So any
Alright.
of you that were level 2, you started with 300 experience points, so you have to go in and add that for yourselves.
Didn't it do it for us just now?
Well,
Because I had I'd already had 300 in there. I went up to 48. Okay.
yeah, it looks like you were good. Some of the others were.
It's 900 for level 3, right?
Correct.
I'm sorry, how much do we go up?
If you're a level 2, you're at 458, which is 158 experience.
I'm not a level 2.
It automatically got applied.
Oh, did it? Okay. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Where do we check this? Under?
Let's see. Sullivan. Okay.
Part-
If you
part-
click on there's like a magnifying glass on the main page of your character sheet, right by where your class and level is.
Mhm. Oh, I see it. I see it. At 300, you said?
Yes, just so that you have 458.
All right. Sounds good.
Yay, I'm at 458.
Yeah. We didn't die.
Nobody died, so that's good. And
I didn't turn into a skeleton.
You did
I
not turn
knew
to a
it
skeleton.
died.
That's a win in the community game.
yeah.
I
So
didn't get the
That's a
opportunity.
fun party. This was a fun party.
thanks everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. We're playing the first, I don't know if you can call it the first session of Isle of Dread. We played the session where we got to the Isle of Dread, and then the next one they will pick up with some of the content from the book, and we'll go from there. If you were watching and you want to get in on our fun, you can do so by supporting the Patreon. There's a couple of different levels of support you can give that way to join the fun. You can also support us with a subscription, and there are openings for subscribers to play as well. Either way, you'll want to make sure that you join the Discord channel. Just popped the invite link into the chat so that you can get in and join us, chat with us, and keep an eye out for when games open up. So, all right. Next game is tomorrow night. I need to get ready for that.
Curse
don't
of
want
Strahd.
don't want Strahd to look like a chump. So, yeah, we're gonna be playing one of the final sessions of Curse of Strahd tomorrow night, as they're in Castle Ravenloft and about to do just about at the end of that book. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. we will be playing some Eberron Adventurers League with Kogo. And Sunday night we've got Ghosts of Saltmarsh at what you guys do 6:30, I think, right?
We do.
6:30 Sunday night. So, all right, thanks everybody. I'm going to take us off. We'll see you all soon.